Hey everyone, this is Iron Torch 20 and we are continuing the classic Mega Man series with the first and only entry in the Super Nintendo, and that's going to be Mega Man 7. This game came out in 1995, and it's just giving a nice little recap of the events of Mega Man 6. I also do like how they got that lightning in the background. And then this the final boss from Mega Man 6. Although I do like that machine in the background. It's one thing I do like about this game. The graphics in this game are actually really good. I mean, it does do some things to affect the gameplay, but, you know, I'll talk about that a little bit more. I also like that Cutman comic in the background. And, of course, because, you know, it wouldn't be much of a plot if Dr. Wily just stayed that way, or stayed in jail. Something has gotta happen. And yeah, this intro sequence does take a little bit to finish up, but this was one I did play a lot when I was in middle school, and I actually never beat this game on a Super Nintendo, but, you know, once the days of emulation came out and all that stuff happened, I did end up playing this one a lot. And it did require a lot of me getting stuck at Dr. Wily for the longest time, which I did end up safe stating in order to beat him, but I will have to describe that more when we get to that point. Well, I never got contacted by Dr. Wily either. Yeah, this game is full of like little typos like that, but, you know, this is a Capcom game after all. But yeah, there are extra robots that we had to deal with. Also, this is a very dramatic sequence for a Mega Man game. And this game is actually a little bit darker than the other ones. Oh god, what is that? No! Yeah, that's just a little touch. But yeah, I do like this intro music, and the music in this game is kind of hit or miss, but I do enjoy some tracks. So let's go ahead and just get this thing started. Let's see, this game is a little bit more story-driven than some of the other ones. I mean, Mega Man, I want to say somewhere between like 2 and 6 were about as paper thin as they get. Well, yeah, all the NES ones were about as paper thin as it got. But at the same time, this one does feature a lot more dialogue. It also features a lot more, you know, interaction between the characters, which is kind of nice because in Mega Man 6, they had like almost no dialogue between anybody except for like Dr. Wily and Mega Man for a little bit, which is like after you beat Mr. X and that was it. I also like this. Of course, it would have been a little bit more anime-ish if they had like a little smoke thing coming out of Mega Man's head. Which is one thing I do like about anime. It's is that you can really do whatever you want. And of course, Mega Man has to strike a pose because, well, it just wouldn't be a Mega Man game without it. So let's just go ahead and see Dr. Light. Although I am curious to know why Otto didn't have like something that could fly, but I don't know, I'm just not going to question the logic of this game. There are a lot of things that, even though it is are a lot more story-based than some of the other games, there are a lot of, I guess, Mega Man-ish moments when it comes to the logic of this game. And of course, for plot purposes, you have to actually see, Dr. Wily's robots breaking him out. Man, they even brought his ship too. No, I will say, that was a very fast ship. If he could go over from there to here that quickly. And then, yeah, after that a little bit of dialogue, we get to the gameplay. And the biggest thing with this game is that the game moves a little bit slower than the NES ones. And that has more to do with the graphic engine and the sprites and all those things. Going a little bit slower, but I do like the graphics in this game for the most part. Somebody did end up making like an 8-bit version of this game, which, you know, it played the same as like the NES ones, and then, except it was a little bit faster and there was like no intro stage. Anyway, there's that thing from the beginning. Basically just avoid the saw blade. It's it's pretty simple. And then whenever it jumps, it does that ground pound thing. That is actually particular to the Sumo Brothers in Mario 3. But yeah, now that that's done with, just gotta make jumps. And yeah, really this intro stage is there just to get you acclimated to the mechanics of this game. And we meet a mysterious stranger who's firing at us for some reason. And yeah, there are two ways you can do this. You can either just let him kick your ass, or you can go ahead and shoot him more. I also like this part. It's like, you better tell me who you are? But like I said, this game is just full of little typos like that, but at the same time, that's one of the reasons why I find it fun. Even though, personally, I prefer the NES ones. I mean, honestly, this game is still worth your time. And here you get the password, essentially the same thing as the X games. I have once tried to associate these with the characters instead of the numbers, but, you know, whichever way works for you. Anyway, meet the 4 robots. Just like the X games, I'm going to try and play for efficiency, which means minimal backtracking, which also means I'm going to go to Freeze Man first. And there is one thing that I'm going to have to do to backtrack, but... or actually not backtrack, but I'm going to have to go out of order. But unfortunately, that's just part of the game. And this game, one thing I should mention about the way this game works is that it does act a lot like the Game Boy games, in the sense that you have 4 bosses you have to deal with, and then like a little intermission, and then another set of 4 bosses. And there are some other elements that make it act like the Game Boy games, such as the shop, which you could pick up bolts in order to buy stuff there. And then, let's see, what else is there? There are also a lot of hidden items you can find, which is really a nice touch for you know, something like a Mega Man game. It does feature a really nice touch, and there are a lot of items, or good items you can find to make your time a little bit easier in this game. Because it is kinda easy, but it's not the easiest game out there. And there are a lot of easy deaths in this game, because it just wouldn't be a Mega Man game without it. Let's see, for this part you just gotta make jumps, and then here it's just using the ice block as a platform. Now, I did not do that right. Okay, now, yeah, that makes it easier. But yeah, it just wouldn't be a Mega Man game without those pesky spikes. And you get all your rush items back from Mega Man's 3 and 4. For this part, I'm just gonna go to the edge and jump there, and completely screw that up. And we got the H plate, which in the first 4 stages, you're just gonna try and spell rush, and when you do that, you get a pretty nifty power-up. Which is one thing I really do enjoy about this game, is that there's a lot of variety, a lot of diversity with the power-ups, and also just a lot of cool stuff in general. So let's see, we're about halfway done with this stage. And let's see, with this part, it's actually a lot like Flashman's stage in Mega Man 2, where you just gotta make jumps. And I just find it easier to use a rush coil here. And with that, we got ourselves a power-up, and that's the Rush Search, and you can use Rush to dig up items. Always pretty cool. And then I'll just go ahead and demonstrate that here. Let's see, it does take a while to get set up, and one thing I should mention with Rush is that he can actually take damage, and then when that happens, you cannot, or you have to call him back. But yeah, that's pretty much how Rush Search works. Sometimes you get decent items, and then more often than not, you get some random crap that you can't use. But you are going to use Rush Search to get cool items. And E-Tanks are back, always good. But in this game, they actually limit the number of E-Tanks you can have to 4. And for some reason I'm having a lot of trouble making that jump. And you can see what you can do and what you can't do here. You have energy tanks, weapon tanks, and a super tank. And you have the number of bolts there, and then some extra power-ups that we're going to get into pretty soon. But yeah, the Game Boy games actually did the same thing, and that's one of the many reasons why I say this game acts a lot more like the Game Boy games than the NES ones. Okay, there's something here. And I do like that there are a lot of secrets in this game. I mean, some of them are a little cryptic, but at the same time, they do a really good job of rewarding you for going out of your way to look for stuff. Such as the exit thing. Yes, the exit thingy. But anyway, that works the same way as the escape unit in Mega Man X, and in the sense that when you beat a stage, you can exit it at any time you want instead of having to replay through the whole thing. But here's Freeze Man. Freeze Man's pattern is actually really simple once you know that he jumps every time you shoot at him. So that's just something to be aware of. And then you can use this to just slide under him and so forth. He will try and freeze the ground, and then he will also try to shoot at you. And the thing with those ground shots is that if you are or if you're on the ground, you get frozen, your feet get frozen and you're a free target. And then you get hit by that frozen shot, then you end up getting frozen and he just runs into you and hurts you. But yeah, this guy's not too tough, but at the same time he can be a little tricky when you don't know his pattern. And of course I gotta do a victory dance here. Yes, that is my victory dance in Mega Man games. So let's just go ahead and get the power up, which is always good. I do like this, or the sequence of getting the power up, but one thing I did rip on in my Mega Man V commentary was the way that they described the weapons. I just liked them showing you it better. I don't know, maybe I'm just more of a visual learner than having to put together an abstract concept, but at the same time, what do I know? I mean, everybody has their different styles of learning. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and call the video, so join me next time as we take on more of those Robot Masters. See you then!